Tervetuloa seuraamaan Maailmankuvia-sarjaa. Olen nyt pääkaupunkiseudulla ja tänään minulla on ilo ja kunnia haastatella Laura Ivania. Tämä seuraava keskustelu tullaan käymään englannin kielellä. So it's very nice to meet you and it's nice to introduce you for our audience today. So you are coming from Romania and you are a teacher of different kind of spiritual techniques which is taught by Master Tibor, if I understood right.
Yes, it's true. I'm practicing and teaching specific teachings and methods and techniques, healing techniques, but also spiritual awakening techniques, which were given by Master Tibor Ujlakyn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but before we going more deeper those methods, it would be nice to hear something about your own personal journey. How does it start in the first place? Have you always been in spiritual in some way in your mind, or how this everything has started with you?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, this spiritual journey has started like more like a self-knowledge journey, and I was always interested to know more about myself, about human beings, about the entire existence. And even when I was a child, I was observing myself and others, and I remember I was very sensitive to the feelings and emotions and moods of the others, and especially to the suffering of the soul. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to help others in a way or another. Of course, I couldn't do too much when I was a child, but I used to say that I want to become a soul doctor, so not any kind of doctor. And
this was your childhood wish?
Yes, it was very interesting because I didn't have people or occasions to discuss about soul things.
Is it somehow not so popular to talk in those topics in Romania?
No, it was only the context I grew up and I received an education which was not too much about soul things. So I received a normal education and people are not used to discuss. Normal people don't discuss too much about soul.
How about this Romania? Is it a Catholic country or?
No, it's an Orthodox country,
Orthodox
but still Christian.
Okay.
Yes, and the religious part is quite well developed in Romania. But my family was not so much into this religious thing. So I was interested in knowing about the human nature and about the existence, how things works. And then in adolescence I discovered psychology. And I thought that I could find some answers there, and not only answers, but also methods with which to help others to release the suffering. So I went to the faculty of psychology and I became a psychotherapist. And I worked with people. I was doing psychotherapy. But still, I felt that there is much more, that even with psychology I couldn't get to the deeper understanding of what soul is. So I have continued to search for other possibilities.
So how you started to churn? How did you start to research those? Did you went to the library, read the books, or how does it happen?
No. I went to different workshops, and in one of these workshops, it was a self-development workshop, and I met someone who told me about energetic techniques, Tibetan energetic techniques, and I got very curious and I wanted to learn more, and this is how I started. I went and received my first teachings in energetic healing techniques.
So this was a way how you first met Tibor?
Yes. I have started receiving teachings from him. His full name is Tibor Ujlakyn. And that happened 18 years ago. And of course, in all these years, I have received many teachings from him. And with all this knowledge and of course with a lot of practice, I have experienced many great changes in my life. I could say wonderful changes, and I could also see wonderful changes people transforming with the help of these methods.
Before we going too deep that topic, it would be nice to know that did you try to some other kind of methods or teachings or workshops before you went to this Tibor Ujlakyn's workshop?
As I said, I tried workshops and methods which were more related to psychology and psychotherapy and self-development, but not energetic or spiritual teachings.
So, how did you get notice Tibor Ujlakyn? You mentioned that you heard it from somebody. So, how did this happen, and what you heard in the first place about this course and his teachings?
Well, the person didn't tell me too much. He told me that he beneficiated a lot from these teachings, and that I should go and try it.
Try to yourself that what is
exactly.
it?
Yes. Yes.
So this first workshop what you received, what kind of experience it was for you?
It was very strong from the very beginning. I felt great joy, like finally getting home, or getting closer to being home. So I felt these teachings and methods being very familiar for me from the very beginning. And also the meeting with the master Tibor Ujlakyn was for me a key point in my life. I consider it the most important meeting in my life.
Well, it sounds very important in that way. So how about this Master Tibor in that time, 18 years ago, when you first time met him? Was he already famous and well known in Romania?
Oh, yes, yes.
So can you a little bit tell more about that, your master Tibor Ujlakyn, that who is he? We don't know that him so well yet. So what you can tell about him?
I can tell about him that he's a spiritual teacher in the real sense of the word. And a real teacher, in my opinion, is a person who have already achieved and can manifest in his life, in his behavior, the qualities, the values, the teachings he wants to transfer or to convey to the others. So in this regard, I consider him great teacher, and I could feel from our first meeting, I could feel very strong, like an energetic feeling or influence in his presence, state of calmness and inner peace. So the mind had just calmed down.
Would you define him as an enlightenment person?
I would say that he's a master, a spiritual master with true high achievements, which can be, of course, called enlightened.
Yes, and these teachings, what he is teaching, has he built a school for it back in Romania, if I understood right?
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit more from that as well?
He was already giving teachings in many countries from Romania. Romania is a very big country.
Yes.
And he was giving teachings in the main cities from Romania, so he had a lot of students. And he also trained students, practitioners to become also teachers, trainers. So in this way he had grown the school in Romania.
And is this school physically located somewhere in Romania?
There is a main center in Romania. It's called Asanga Center. It's somewhere in the middle of the country, in the mountains. It's a very, very nice place to be. It's a special place to be. But there are other centers in the main cities.
Okay. So we are talking about actually in quite large and wide movement.
Yes, in Romania it is very well developed and has a lot of followers and practitioners.
Do you have some numbers how many followers there are?
Maybe around 100,000.
That is huge.
Yes.
And this movement also has spread to the other countries, because I remember that a few years ago Tibor was here in Helsinki and built something here as well. But how wide it has been spread in worldwide?
So he mainly gave these teachings in Romania and then here in Finland. So these are the main two countries where he had been giving teachings so far.
Unfortunately, I haven't had any chance to ask him that why he chose to Finland, but do you know the reason?
Well, he came here to live here for a couple of years. I cannot say which were his reasons, but I know that in the time he spent here, he started teaching here, and this is how the Finnish school have started.
Yes, and now back in your personal journey. So 18 years ago you went as a student to his school.
Yes.
And what you learned from that school and his teachings?
So as I said, I learned and I continue to learn energetic methods for healing, for self-healing and healing others, for self-development, including, for example, a regression technique, a technique which is very useful for healing traumas, but also for understanding ourselves better and understanding our life, where we come from, how was our past, why we are the way we are now, so to better understand ourselves and the world. And of course also spiritual teachings which have helped me to start working and moving on the spiritual path.
Yes, so basically those what was most important for you was those healing techniques, spiritual healing techniques, or what you would like to say, what was most important?
All of them were important.
So everything was...
Yes, and I worked with all of them equally for myself, on myself, and on others. And regarding the effects, I have mentioned that these teachings have changed my life completely, and maybe it's useful to mention one thing, that when I started these teachings, I was in a more difficult period of my life, because in that time I got separated from my partner, and I was alone with a small child to take care of and to raise by my own. And then I started these teachings, and I started to practice them, because it's not enough only to go to a workshop, to a course, and to receive something, but you have to practice it. After that, so by practicing these teachings, I managed to overcome that painful period of my life and to regain my inner balance, and even to reach a deeper understanding of the life situations, of relationships, of life in general.
Yes, you got some answers why those things happened.
Exactly. Exactly. But of course, in time, the more I have practiced these methods, the bigger changes I have noticed in my life. I could know myself better, even the hidden parts of my personality. I had the possibility, the methods to transform the negative emotions, thoughts into positive ones, to gain more clarity in my mind, and the joy of life, which is an unconditional joy, which is not related to something from outside. So that is just there inside for no reason, we could say. And of course, I had the possibility to develop my compassion more and to learn how to help others in a more effective way, in a wisely way.
Well, that sounds very good, and it's a growing human being, as we are human beings. It's growing as a human, those what you have learned.
Yes.
And in same time you were your profession was a psychotherapist, and but as you mentioned that it didn't give you what you was looking for, but this what Tibor was teaching you was answer. So what happened to your previous profession?
I continue to work with both methods for a while, but then because I saw that I have much more results and better results with these techniques, energetic regression techniques, then I stopped doing psychotherapy and continued only with these teachings.
Can you define more clearer and deeper about those results, what you couldn't find from the psychotherapy, but you could find it from your customers in those Tibor's methods?
So with psychotherapy, I've noticed that I can get only until a certain point in understanding, in going deeper. So I felt that I couldn't go so deep in the process of knowledge and also in the process of awareness and also healing. I felt that this was more like a mental process. So, of course, there were many methods because I used to work with psychodrama, and psychodrama brings out a lot of emotions as well. But I felt that even if people could get in touch with their emotions, they didn't, or the methods were not good enough to really heal and integrate those things which were brought to the surface. And with these teachings, with Master Tibor's teachings, I have had better results in this regard. So I was able to go much deeper and to really heal and integrate what was coming out. And also, what was also very important was the fact that with these techniques, people were able to get in touch with their positive qualities. So not only to focus on what was painful or negative and try to understand that, but also to discover their positive qualities, their true nature, their soul.
Yes. As I told you that I used to be a mental health nurse and did 20 years work with mental health patients, and quite often I had a feeling that they just healing those symptoms, but not those real problems, what is inside, and what is the main goal for human life. I guess it should be that we are happy, we can feel
Exactly.
happy. And how those Western medications and healing techniques help with that, I guess no way. But those spiritual techniques, they also have a philosophy what people can find something what might be fit to them. Or
Yes, there is a philosophy, and it's more than a philosophy, at least in the Eastern spiritual tradition. There is not only the philosophy, which is also more like at the mental level, but they also give methods which really works in this regard to help practitioners, people to regain their state of happiness, because as you said, this is our true nature. And with these teachings, I didn't mention, but it's good that you were saying this, that the Western methods treat only the symptoms. Of course, psychotherapy tries to go deeper, but only until. So psychology tries to understand more the personality, the mental and emotional processes, behaviors, and so on. But with these teachings, spiritual teachings, we can get to the cause of the problems and dissolve that cause. And when that cause is solved, then the process of development, of awakening, of healing, which is only one process, we can say it and call it whatever we want, but it's the same process. So it can happen naturally.
Yes, indeed. Well, perhaps now it's a good time to make a little deeper dive into those teachings, what you have learned, and as you mentioned that 18 years you started those learning those teachings, but now you are graduated teacher by yourself, and perhaps you would like to open up a little bit those techniques and methods what you have learned and so.
Yeah, so 10 years ago I received this wonderful possibility to teach these teachings to others, and I'm very, very grateful to Master Tibor Ujlakyn for giving me this great opportunity to help others also by doing this. And of course at that moment, and I still feel it like this, it's a huge responsibility, not only to pass on some very valuable teachings, but also to support the people who come to you, to guide them. And I always had this strong motivation behind everything I did, that I really want to help others to get rid of suffering and to be happy and healthy again. So that was always a strong motivation for me, and I had this strong trust that I can do this with these techniques. and I have always, in a way, knew that my job was to prepare them to later meet the master Tibor and receive higher teachings from him and higher guidance on the spiritual path.
Yes. So, what is those teachings name? What you are teaching and what Tibor has taught to you? For me, it's too difficult to pronounce.
The name of these teachings is VAJRADHARMA.
What is the meaning?
Vajra means the consciousness in its pure form, and Dharma means methods, functional methods with which we can develop, reawaken the qualities of this pure consciousness. But maybe it's useful if I give some short explanation, more general explanation before talking more about the VAJRADHARMA methods.
You're welcome.
About these spiritual traditions, Eastern spiritual traditions, it's good to know that they always emphasize the self-knowledge process. So the awakening was in fact seen as a self-knowledge process, and they of course developed different teachings and methods to carry on this process. Of course, there is a huge difference between what self-knowledge means in psychology and what it means in a spiritual tradition. So in psychology, self-knowledge means to know the mental and emotional processes, to know about your personality. So they search all this. But all these are always changing, and it's like trying to get to know the sea through the waves. So you study the waves and you want to get to know the sea.
Yes.
But the spiritual teachings understand knowledge in a different way. So for them, the aim is to the self-knowledge process means to get in contact and to know the essence of the human being, which is our soul, which is not changing, which is always the same, which is permanent. And they said that the aim is to understand and to awaken, to develop those natural and fundamental needs of our soul. So this is what self-knowledge means, spiritual tradition, to know your essence, to know your soul. And
which is pure consciousness.
Yes, which is the pure consciousness. And now, to be even more easier to understand things, this human mind, this human nature, this soul, has 4 main qualities, fundamental qualities. And these qualities are, the first one is joy. So we naturally are joyful. It's enough if you look at kids when they are small, especially when they are small. They are always joyful, so they feel joy no matter what they do, when they play, no matter what they are involved in, they feel this natural joy. As adults, of course, we are not able to be in contact with our inner joy anymore. Maybe not so much. So we still feel it, but not so strongly. And then we look for different external situations through which we can feel again, experience again that joy. But that joy is always in us. So this is what means that it is a fundamental quality of our soul. That is always there. And the second quality is the clarity of mind. So we feel well when we are focused, when we are attentive, when we can understand the situations, the phenomenon which are around us. When we can involve with all our being in what we do. So it's also
kind of self-awareness.
Exactly, it's also natural to be like this. But of course we have also lost it to some extent. We are not able to be like this all the time.
Yeah.
And then the third quality is the power. The feeling, so we feel well when we have this feeling that we are able and capable to do things, to do what we want to do. We have the energy, the force to do something. And another aspect of the power is luminosity. People are attracted to light, love light, and are attracted to places where there is a lot of energy. So naturally they are attracted to these places full of light, full of energy. And then the fourth quality is...
Can I ask one question about this third quality?
Yes.
So this power, what it is means, is it meaning that we should find a connection to the source from ourselves, or how to get this power, how to be connected?
So I will talk about this after I mention the fourth quality, because it's the same.
Skip this question.
It's the same with all the four qualities.
Yes.
So the fourth quality is the benevolence, the kindness. So we also have this inner quality of being kind to ourselves and also to others. And a way in which this quality is manifesting is through generosity. We feel well when we offer something to others. We feel at home when we are loved, we love others. So this is benevolence and kindness about. This is also a natural part of our soul. And the spiritual teachings, the spiritual traditions have developed different methods, techniques to help people to be in contact again with these qualities, which, as I said, we cannot, we are not able to access them so easily because they are covered by many mental processes, by many thoughts, by traumas.
So what should happen in us that we are able to reach them?
So first, it's necessary to make some cleaning there.
Always.
To purify the more the negative aspects, the negative emotions, thoughts, behaviors, and then to practice methods with which we can reawaken and revigorate these positive natural qualities of our true mind, of our soul. And this is what VAJRADHARMA teachings also do. So with these teachings we can regain and develop these qualities in us, and we become able to experience them unconditionally. So I will be able to experience joy, pure joy, without needing something external to experience that joy. So for no reason, as I said earlier. I will be able to have a clear and focused mind, even if I'm not focusing on a specific subject. I will be able to manifest myself in a kind and compassionate way towards everybody. Yeah, so this is what we can do, and this is what self-knowledge, self-development and spiritual evolution mean, to regain this true nature of our soul. And when a person is able to fully achieve these qualities and manifest them, we can call him a happy and healthy person with integrity.
So, how about meditation? Does it have some part in this purifying process or something else?
About meditation, we could discuss a lot. It's a very complex subject, because meditation is a state of being. It's not something which you do, but it is more like a way you are. It's about how you are. So, and the spiritual traditions say that this is the natural state of our consciousness, is a meditative state. So we should be able to be in a meditative state all the time. This doesn't mean that we should stay with closed eyes and isolate ourselves from the outer world and be passive and not involved and not to live our lives normally, but to live the normal life in a different state. There are, of course, different meditation methods. Also in VAJRADHARMA, we have different meditation methods, different effective mindfulness methods. And all of these are part of this process of bringing ourselves closer to who we really are, or how we really are.
Well, yes. When you talk about those four important qualities, so can we go by one that what is most important when you try to reach that from yourself? What need to do?
So it's not different from one quality to another. It's there are teachings and methods with which we can, of course, develop one quality or another, but the process is the same.
Okay.
Now, that with different techniques we awaken, we get in contact again with that quality of our soul, which is deep in us, in our soul.
Can we use a term, our true self, or something like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is our soul.
Yes. So, being connected to our own soul is this main goal what all those 4 qualities try to achieve?
Yes, this is the main goal to achieve this state in which, as I said, we are able to manifest all the qualities of the soul naturally, so without effort. Of course, I mentioned 4 main qualities, but each quality has many different forms of manifestation.
Okay.
As I said about benevolence, it can manifest as kindness, as compassion, love, generosity. So there are many involved in one category.
You mentioned the word love, which is quite a strong word. So what unconditional love meanings in your methods and techniques and your philosophy?
So love in the Eastern tradition and also in our teachings means to manifest benevolence for any being, any living being, no matter of the situation or the relationship with that person. So usually love is more like a conditioned feeling. If I behave well according to your expectations, then you love me. But this is not the true love. The true love is a state of being, a state of consciousness, in which we manifest naturally this kindness towards everybody.
Well, as it is Tibetan methods behind of this, so love and compassion has a very strong part of it, as according to Dalai Lama.
Yes, that's true. So VAJRADHARMA teachings have their origin in the Eastern ancient traditions, spiritual traditions, especially in Buddhism. But the methods are adapted to the possibilities and to the needs of the modern man. And this is something specific to the VAJRADHARMA teachings, because the master Tibor Ujlakyn has developed methods with which we can really put into practice and have results. So not only understand at the philosophical or mental level what is the existence or the soul about, but also to be able to
acting out of it.
Yes, and to act, to really do that change, to really go through that process. And so he has developed functional methods. I mentioned that Dharma means functional methods. So in our approach, tradition is not an information which had been passed on from one generation to another, but the tradition means methods which gave results from one generation to another. Okay, so in our approach, tradition means methods which have results. Teachings and methods which are really effective.
Yes. So if we're talking about example healing methods, what Tibor is teaching and you are teaching now. So can you open up that? What kind of is this method? What happens? How? Where is it based?
So there are several methods, techniques which are given in this school. There is one main part about the science of sounds, how to use the energy of sounds in order to achieve healing or spiritual development or self-awareness. And it's about the sounds which we make with our vocal cords, not using different instruments for that. So it's a science of using the powerful energy of sounds for healing and spiritual evolution.
Natural human voice or instruments?
Natural human voice.
Okay.
So it's there are techniques for us to learn how to use different sounds which we can say of course in a specific way in order to get to achieve a certain goal, as I said, for healing or for spiritual evolution or for self-development.
Is there also words like a mantras or something in those healing sounds?
It is very much like the practice with mantras.
Yes. Example, Om mantra.
For example, yes, that is a very, very strong mantra. But in VAJRADHARMA, of course, there are specific sounds and methods of using this energy, as I said, with roots in those teachings of and that practice with mantras.
So what kind of problems, difficulties, health issues you can heal with sound healing? With
sounds, you can address very well the problems of the mind, the stress, the mental agitation, the mental stress. So with this energy, this pure energy of sounds, you can purify your mind. You can get to a state of peacefulness and mental clarity. And there are other methods with sounds which can awaken the joy, what I mentioned, or the compassion can enhance the compassion, the love, the unconditional love, or can give more energy, more power, pure power. So there are different methods of sound using for as I said, achieving this goal, which is this awakening all these qualities. And there are also other methods, so not only this science of sounds.
But still one question from
yes.
Sounds. So there is also sound, how you can harmonize your daily consciousness to pure consciousness. Is there?
Yes, it's true. In fact, we need to understand very well that there is a process. So this awakening of all these qualities, healing our soul, opening our soul, returning to our true nature, happen gradually. So it's not something that I receive a method, I practice it today, and from this stressed and unclear and foggy mind, I got enlightened at once. So it doesn't work like this. There is a process, and we need to understand this very clearly because many people expect very quick results. Results are coming from very early in the practice, even when receiving these methods. We can have very, very strong experiences, but in order to be able to fully awaken these qualities and to manifest them naturally, to become our natural way of being, it's necessary to practice them longer.
Yeah. Well, those sounds, healing of sounds sounds very good to me, and I understand in that way very well that as a sound, voice, everything is energy, and energy is vibration.
Exactly.
So
yes.
Everything is vibration, everything is sound, if
yes.
we're thinking in that way.
And by connecting to different vibrations, we can open and put in motions different processes inside us.
Yes, we just harmonizing our vibration with that where we are heading, what we want to get. Yes,
exactly.
So there is another methods as well.
Yes, there are methods of using different energetic forms, different energetic techniques, and we can use these techniques for healing, for that purification process, but also for increasing these pure qualities. So there are always these two parts of the process. One part is the purification of the negative aspects, and the other part is bringing to the surface and increasing, developing the positive qualities.
Mm-hmm.
So with all these methods we can do both parts of the process.
So, what is your thoughts and ideas about spiritual abilities? Example, some people might have a clairvoyance or something like this. What are you thinking about those spiritual abilities or qualities, however we call it?
It's true that there are special abilities which some people have naturally, so they born with them. But these abilities are not important on a spiritual path, and it's very important for people to know this, to understand this correctly. So these methods, these teachings were given to everyone, to all people, to be able to release from suffering and to be happy again. So everybody has this right to be happy, to live a happy life. Of course, it's necessary to have a normal ability to understand things, normal ability of self-awareness. But all these abilities are developed in time with these methods. So when you come to a course, you are just a normal people these methods are not good for people with mental disorders or with psychiatric disorders or problems, of course. But for anyone who is interested in solving his problems, in healing himself mentally, emotionally, physically, because these methods are very good also for physical problems, and who is openness is very important. Then anyone who is open and willing to learn how to work effectively with himself and also with others eventually, then can beneficiate of these teachings.
And how about yourself when you have opened up your consciousness to pure consciousness? Have you received that kind of spiritual experiences where this spiritual world has touched your life?
Yes, I had it. I had this blessing to have that state of bliss several times, and most of the times it happened in the presence of the master Tibor, so during meditations or practices with him.
Can you define what happened and what you experienced?
So I experienced, it started like a very strong state of presence and vigilance, and then the mind was totally peaceful and calm. There were no thoughts anymore, and in that open, infinitely open space inside me, I felt very wonderful light, and I experienced a state of happiness which is not from this world. I don't know how to express it
very well.
more clearly, but it's not something that we can experience in the daily conditions, life conditions.
How long this experience lasts?
So
this state of consciousness?
Yes. I remember that at the beginning, when I first experienced this, it lasted for a couple of minutes. But then in time, I had the possibility to maintain that state for longer, even for 1 hour or more than 1 hour. And I'm aware that I was able to do this to remain in that state, because it's not about doing something, but it's about being there, totally open and letting things to be. So I was aware that I had the possibility, I was able to be there, to experience that, due to the teachings and the practices I have done in all these years, constantly. So all these teachings and practices have gradually got me in that moment when I had the possibility to experience the highest and purest state.
Yes. So, what this experience taught to you?
Of course, it was an extraordinary experience. It was a moment, an experience in which I had the possibility to be in contact with that deep pure soul or self, to my true nature, and I've learned that, as I said, it requires to work with yourself, so it doesn't happen at once. Of course, the tradition says that it can happen in very special conditions, also suddenly. But now we are here, normal people, talking to normal people and talking about methods which are good for us. So it requires to prepare yourself, to work with yourself, to be prepared when this pure state is manifesting, to be able to open yourself and to experience it. And it was very, very interesting and very nice to also act while being in that state. So there were situations in which I was able to maintain that state even after I moved from the meditation position and I started doing something else, moving or so it is possible to achieve that state and to be in that state in the normal life. So it is possible to achieve that goal which the tradition is talking about.
So, am I right if I'm saying that in that moment when you experienced that pure consciousness moved you from situation and state of believing to state of knowing, that you are knowing and you living it? Yes,
it's true. So knowing is in fact experiencing.
Yes.
So knowing is not a mental process. That is mental analysis, mental understanding, but the knowing is in fact.
This is why I said that knowing as you live it. You live it.
Yes, through direct experience. That's why the person who told me about the teachings at the very beginning told me, just go and do it, experience it by yourself. So this is about to come and experience, to have your own experience.
So it has been such a lovely story of your life and experiences, everything. Do you have something for this end, what I haven't managed to ask, but you would like to conclude this interview?
Yes. So to conclude a little bit this part with the VAJRADHARMA methods and the possibilities of our school. So the people who come and receive these teachings have the possibility to become Vajra therapists, to work with all these methods, also for others, for helping others, including to work with a regression technique, to become a regression therapist. So they have the possibility to learn and use that technique as well. And of course there is also the possibility to become a Vajra trainer and to teach these teachings to others.
So how does it happen?
Of course, with the therapy part, people who are interested, of course, they have to have a constant practice to work with themselves at the beginning, and then in time they start working with others under the supervision of me or of.
But those teachings, where they are available in Finland or back in Romania?
No, they are available here in Finland. So everything I mentioned about our methods, our teachings, we are giving all these teachings here in Finland as well. And then with the training part, the master Tibor decides which people to pass on this possibility to train these teachings, these methods. Of course, it requires more involvement in the school, in practicing, in helping others.
So, if people wants to know more, do you have some website what you could share it here?
For now, we have a Facebook page. It's VAJRADHARMA line fee. It's the Facebook page of the Finnish VAJRADHARMA school, and there they can, of course, they can follow our events. They can receive information about the upcoming events, teachings.
And is there in Finland some association which working for these teachings, and is there a lot of members that people know that they are not alone when they want to do something?
There is not an association yet, but we have started working at this to create an association, a legal framework for
so
this.
In the future it will be?
Yes, yes. But even if we don't have an association, we have a community, and it's nice to for anyone to know that they.
Do they have a studying groups here in Finland, regular working or some meetings?
Yes. They meet. There is a group in Eco Village in Keuru. And there is another group here in Helsinki, and there are also people doing giving healing sessions or regressions in other cities as well. For example, in Tampere, in Lahti, in Turku.
But all those contact could go through the Facebook page?
Yes.
At the moment?
Yes, at the moment, yes.
That has been my pleasure to have interview with you. It has been nice to hear your story, share it to the world, and I wish very good luck for your future.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure as well, and I'm very grateful, as I said, for this possibility which you offered to us. And I would like to thank again to my teacher, Master Tibor, for giving us all these wonderful teachings and methods which are so easy to receive, to follow, to integrate in our daily life. So it doesn't require a lot of time to practice this on a regular basis. And of course I'm grateful, and I would like to thank to your followers for having the patience and the interest to watch us.
Thank you.
Thank you.